John Carpenter considers a sequel to The Thing. Does he? Well, so here we are at Screen Rant. Yeah, I know, but they're talking about a Hollywood Reporter interview, if you will. And so considering the possibility of a sequel to The Thing. So it goes on about how The Thing came about. You know, it was based on the 1938 novella Who Goes There, which BBC did a pretty good radio drama adaptation of it. It's out there somewhere. Look it up. It's pretty cool. And then, of course, there was the 1951 film, The Thing from Another World, which inspired a young John Carpenter. Yeah. Which is why there's a little Easter egg nugget of the film in Halloween. So there it is. See, it's all connected. So anyway, The Thing is often, I think even he says this is his best film. He did a lot of great films. And certainly in the horror genre, really hit his stride in quite a few. And this certainly was one of them, and quite groundbreaking. At the time it came out, it was kind of panned and whatnot, but no one cares what they think anymore. So the article goes on. It talks about that, yes, he talks about an Hollywood Reporter. Carpenter gave a vague answer when asked which of the creations he wished had a sequel, saying, "I would like to do a sequel to The Thing or a continuation," something like that. But I don't know. See, there are a lot of things in this world I don't know. So then the article speculates continuation and comes to the same conclusion. I'm thinking, yeah, maybe some kind of TV series for streaming. Perhaps he was approached by that and people wanting to mine old properties to gain content for this ongoing streaming wars. And so apparently Blumhouse has a reboot, and I didn't know about this. Okay, here it is, where it says the possibility of a new The Thing project has floated around for some time, most recently coming from Blumhouse, and Universal Studios, which confirmed an adaptation of the unearthed full-length edition of Campbell Jr.'s novella titled Frozen Hell. To that end, the film appears to be a more traditional reboot, not a sequel, but it's based on the same original source material for The Thing. And so they might do that to where it's just another adaptation of the same story. So then it's alongside A Thing from Another World and John Carpenter's The Thing and all that. Of course, there was the prequel, which is interesting, the way they did it and set it up where it ends right where John Carpenter's Thing begins and all that stuff, because it tells the story of the other station that they found in that movie and all that. And it was interesting, but ultimately unnecessary. And of course, one of the cool things about it was what Carpenter was able to do with all the practical effects at the time. Just looks so much better in comparison to all the highly advanced CGI elements that they used. They did do some practical effects in that film, but it just doesn't really hit you like the original. There's possibilities in it. You do get to see more of the spaceship and that sort of thing. And I suppose the girl that survives at the end, yes, a special girl, you could follow up to where she meets MacReady and all that. I don't know. Of course, Kurt Russell's son, you put him in the long hair and get him a beard, he passes for his father, Could have him be MacReady, But anyway, and the girl was played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, I believe, in the prequel one. It's been a while, but anyway. So that's what he's talking about. And, of course, it goes on that he's 74 years old, so he might be considering, then, of course, he would consider it. I don't think he would even insist that he would be the director. He probably would want to oversee something like that and sign off on it to where they say, yeah, this would be a direct sequel to what happened at the end. But the ending, as the article notices, is that, well, it's a perfect ending, especially since it ends on the themes of distrust and paranoia, because Childs and MacReady are the only survivors, but are they? Either one could be the alien or both. But there's certain things that aren't completely answered in the movie. It leaves it up, and that's part of the mystery and horror of it. is that even if, how expansive is this creature? There could be several creatures. It's cellular. They could all be slowly turning. There seemed to be a character that's what happened to him. Stuff like that. I suppose you could explore it more, and they could come up with a sequel called Things. And then, oh no, at the end, the rescue crew manages to escape by a ship, and at the last minute, you see one of them is, one of his hands doesn't look quite right or something like that, and then you realize, oh no, and then the whole world is doomed to be taken over by this alien infestation and stuff like that. But is that enough to justify a sequel to such a great film? Probably not. Maybe take a really clever plot twist or whatever, or some writer to prove me wrong on that, and that would be cool, because it would catch me by surprise. But it's probably something you want to just leave alone. None of the remakes. In fact, the Thing prequel is probably the best of the reboots of John Carpenter films. The Fog was terrible. The Halloween movies, I haven't liked any of them. Even the latest ones they've done, I don't think they're any good. Because the prequel was basically the same story, just told from a different cast. But it didn't really do much damage to the original, and it was pretty straightforward and simple, whereas the others were just really stupid. So, probably best to leave it alone. But since he himself thought there should be a sequel, it'd be interesting to see if he did have any ideas of where it could go and that sort of thing. And if that's what they want to do, that might be interesting. But in the meantime, I don't know what the status of Frozen Hill is. That might be a better way to go, since you're going back to the original story. But I mean, I never read the original story, and apparently there's a longer version of it, so that was found. And then that might be what they're looking. I mean, it's not might be, that is what they're looking at for it, because the radio adaptation of Who Goes There, it's pretty much the same thing as what John Carpenter did. So, don't know how much different Frozen Hill could be from The Thing. So, anywho, there we are. More than likely, there'll probably be some sort of sequel or whatnot. Whether John Carpenter is involved at all, time will tell. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness, so many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.